This broadcast is a presentation of Wcxo Sports. Wcxo Sports, since 1999, the sports voice of the Carlisle Indians, the Central Cougars, the Mater Dei Knights, and the Westland Warriors, presents Talkin Sports on Max 96.7. Talkin Sports is powered by Wcxo Elevator in Centralia. See Wcxo for a variety of fertilizer, seed corn, and seed soybeans. Talkin Sports is brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Nordike Funeral Home with 5 locations to serve your needs. Lee's Sports in Nashville. McKendree University in Lebanon. Country Financial Representative Marvin Gerdes in New Baden. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. And by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Here's the host of Talkin Sports, Rip Nottmeyer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Talkin Sports. Rip here in the Wigman Ford studio. On track today, we're going to talk some high school softball, such as it has been lately, with Carlisle Lady Indians coach Jay Welland. And then we dip into some more high school basketball, this time with SIU Hall of Famer, make that college basketball, and Centralia native Rick Shipley. Plus, as always, we've got the Easy on Travel Trivia Quiz at 594-2576, 594-2576. Today, you can hustle a $15 gift card to the Eagles Nest in Addyville. But right now, it's time for Scores and Stuff, which is brought to you by Hoffman Auto Body, located just 7 miles north of Carlisle. Has your car, truck, SUV, whatever, been in a bad scrape lately? Yeah? If and when it happens, check out Hoffman Auto Body. We'll begin with high school baseball. There was one game played in our area that we know for sure yesterday, and the Nashville Hornets won a home game against the Centralia Orphans 3-1, courtesy of a Bryce Boltman one-hitter. Not bad, but I believe that's it due to rain and mud and water and snow coming. Is that true? The Blues, what? They lost. Yeah, Jonathan Marchessault's goal, 22 seconds in overtime, lifted Vegas to a 4-3 victory over the Note, and that inches the playoff-bound expansion team closer to a division title. Yeah, in their first season, my goodness, they can win the Pacific with a point tonight. St. Louis, meanwhile, currently holds the second wild card spot in the Western Conference. They're a point behind the Ducks. They're tied with Colorado, but the Note have the tiebreaker. St. Louis, whose 6-game win streak ended, now has earned points in 6 of its last 7 road games. Berglund, Shen, and Thorburn. Thorburn got a goal for the Blues, his first. Allen is now 8-1-1 in his last 10 starts. He made 22 saves. The Blues stay in the desert for the Coyotes tonight. Chicago was belted by Colorado 5-0. Chicago they should have put that accountant Scott Foster in goal again. I knew they should have signed in permanently. Anaheim nipped LA 2-1 in overtime. The races are pretty good in the National Hockey League. The Cardinals were it's just game 1, but they were miserable in Thursday's season opener, pretty much with the exception of Jose Martinez and 21-year-old Jordan Hicks. How awful was Clown Carlos? And then he tops it all off by throwing a 5-year-old tantrum in the dugout, knocking everything off the dugout walls and shelves and bench. And please, someone buy Marcel Ozuna a red compression sleeve. Can he afford that maybe? Orange does. He's not the only one. A couple other. You need to look like Cardinals. You need to look like a team. It's already started. The Cards and Mets play game 2 of a 3-game series today. It's Wcxo against Jacob deGrom at 12:10. Well, they'll be pitching for a little while. Hey, the Cardinals have a closer. If he's good, if he's solid, if he's healthy, whenever he's ready. Greg Holland is in the fold for a year, or at least 5 months plus, and $14 million. He led the league in saves last season with 41. He had a rough second half, but he's been very, very good over these last 4 years, maybe 5. The Cubs were not break up the Marlins. It was Miami over the Cubbies 2-1 in 17. on a 2-out single by Miguel Rojas. That took 5 hours and 18 minutes. Yeah, you better put that runner at second base. What happened elsewhere? Joe Panik. He became the first player to homer for his team in back-to-back 1-0 victories. He struck the Dodgers again 1-0. Cueto is remarkable, too, through 6. In fact, he was perfect through that time span. In interleague play, it was Pitt over Detroit, 13-10 in 13. Polanco went yard for the victory. Yeah, the Yankees. Tulo's on the 60-day DL now. He has surgery Monday. Why would anybody? He's a good. If you don't play, how good? Why would anybody want Troy Tulowitzki? Good chance though for Aledmus Diaz to get a lot of playing time for the Royals. Greg Bird is hurt again. Yeah, that's Salvador Perez injury. Close to home. McKendree has a new basketball coach. He is Chris Foster. He comes over from Truman State University. Also a Great Lakes Valley team, and he's had a lot of success, man. 4 20-win seasons there, 83 victories in all, 48 against league opponents. So welcome aboard to Greg, make that Chris Foster, as he takes over for Harry Statham. The Final Four is tonight. Yes, indeed. Loyola of Chicago against the Michigan Wolverines, and Nova they'll battle Kansas in the marquee matchup. So they say tonight. Hopefully it'll be 2 good games, and Rick Shipley will be on board to talk all about that stuff later on. Everybody's leaving Illinois. Michael Porter is going. Coaches, wow, it's just crazy. Penn State won the NIT crown, so there you go. Did you have them in your? No, neither did I. The women's NCAA games last night, 2 overtime affairs. Mississippi State won. And then Notre Dame stuns UConn 91-89 on a heck of a dagger with 1 second left. I watched quite a bit of that and some blues, and then I conked out. Mount Carmel's Tyra Buss, who we've adopted, and Indiana plays for the women's NIT championship tomorrow. So good luck to her, and we'll have her on in next 2 or 3, whatever. The Bulls won again. Well, they beat Orlando. Does that really count? LeBron has now scored 10 points. Or more, of course. In 867 consecutive games, he passes Jordan for that double figures record. Embiid with a bad injury. Let's see. This just in. Roger Goodell has just placed a large order for flags and skirts. Bo Hostler leads the Houston Open 2-share first at the ANA Inspiration. That's one on the women's side. And the older gentlemen are off. NASCAR is also off for the weekend due to Easter. We hope all of you have a great Easter. We're coming back with Jay Wellen, trivia, and Rick Shipley, the shipper, all today on Talking Sports for a Saturday morning. Farmers State Bank is dedicated to the communities they serve. They've been making home loans for over 100 years. They are and will continue to be a strong, steady, common-sense leader that's always focused on what's best for you and the community. And remember, Farmers State Bank has loan professionals standing by to assist you in making the right decision for your needs. That's Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. An equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 404955.
As a business owner, you know that every year brings new challenges and opportunities. The success of your business demands expertise and focus, and Country Financial can help you keep that focus by helping ensure you have the right insurance protection in place to meet your goals. Marvin Gertis, your Country Financial representative in New Baden, can help you create a customized insurance plan that has coverages designed just for your business. Call Marvin Gertis today, 588-7112. Coverages may vary by state. Policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Bloomington.
When wearing contacts, you shouldn't even be able to feel them. If they're uncomfortable or feeling dry, come see us at Lebanon Optometric Center or Breeze Family Vision Center. We'll find the right contacts for you, whether it's multifocal, astigmatism, daily disposables, or hybrid lenses. Don't suffer through contacts that are just fine. We have all the major brands to choose from, and with locations in Breeze and Lebanon, if you damage or tear your contacts, we can replace them right away. Start seeing clearer today with a little help from Breeze Family Vision Center or Lebanon Optometric Center.
If you're looking for Nissan quality, be sure to check out what Munkin Dodge Chrysler, Jeep, Nissan, and Centralia has to offer. Munkin's has the entire field covered with a great lineup of Nissans, including Maximas, Altimas, and Sentras, SUVs and crossovers, and Titan and Frontier trucks. And you can relax when you shop Munkins because you know you're getting the better deal every time, along with terrific service after the sale. For your Nissan, log on to Munkin1.com, or better yet, visit Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in person, Route 161 West in Centralia.
We'd tell you our music library contains an embarrassment of riches, except nothing embarrasses us, playing everything.
This is Max 96.7.
Welcome back, everybody. This is, Talking Sports. And Rip is here in the Wiegman Ford studio. Ben Koopman manning the board as usual. Let's fire off the H&H Computer Services guest line for Carlisle Lady Indians softball coach Jay Wellen. Jay, welcome back.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing just fine, although things have been a little quiet on the diamond scene, huh? Rain, maybe a mix of snow tomorrow. We've got it all. It's springtime in Southern Illinois, Jay.
Hey, that's it, buddy. You never know what you're going to get from day to day.
Sun would be nice once in a while.
Yeah, but hey, I'm happy. We've at least got 5 games in. I know there's a lot of teams around here that have been struggling to get any games in, so.
I don't know if Central's. Yeah, I don't know if Central's played any, for example, right?
Yeah, I don't think they've played a game yet. I think they've been all rain out.
Yeah, I think they've been on maybe the field for 1 inning before it was. I don't know, but yeah, you have played some contests, which is good, and that was over the first. That was early, over the first week plus, I guess. But you do have 5 in the ledger, winless so far. But I know, hey, we've got a long season ahead. Once we get cranking.
You got that right. You know what they say, Rome wasn't built in a day.
No, it wasn't.
So it took a little while. So, yeah, there's no doubt about it. We got some work to do. But the last couple games, we've finally seen some signs of life. So, that always gives us a little bit of confidence.
Yeah. And you
rolling into the next one. So.
Yeah, and you were fit going in, and now still, of course, you're counting on a good campaign. And you're coming off a real good 2017. You're first as Carlisle's coach.
Yeah, we did a nice job last year, and the good thing about it is I had most of the same girls. We lost, 2 pitchers and a shortstop, Kaylin Johnson and Hannah Hoffman, but we still got a good core, and the girls are working hard. It's just a matter of, like I tell them, we got to make our own breaks. We're making some mistakes early and getting down in games, and it's hard to play from behind all the time.
Yeah. But and talk about those 2 losses because they are pivotal, man. They are 2 really. Incredible players, pitchers, and otherwise. Hannah Hoffman and Kaylin Johnson, they're both playing college ball now.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's one of the things that I've learned, in this first years in softball. If you got a dominant pitcher, somebody can go out there and get it. It doesn't honestly matter how many good players you got around her. You're going to be competitive. And Kaylin did an awesome job for us last year. She's at Lindenwood right now. She hasn't played any. She's had some back problems again that she was suffering through last year for us. And then we have Hannah, who's been playing shortstop over at Kaskaskia and doing a nice job over there. So, and it's not only that. They were the leaders of that team for, quite a few years. So now it's just trying to figure out who's going to be our leader this year. And everybody's got a little bit different roles. So we're just trying to fine tune everything right now and build for the end of the season. So,
all of that will come together too when you get on a little roll, just as far as playing some games. But yeah,
absolutely.
That's going to make a difference there. Season to go though, 4-6 in the Cahokia, 15 up and only 12 down overall. First winning season in quite a while at CHS. And hey, you might still be. You lost a 1-run regional championship game, so you didn't bow out easily.
No, and you know what? That honestly, and I've been around ball a long time.
Yes.
Softball or baseball. That was honestly one of the best games I've ever been a part of in my life. Back and forth, and just people making excellent plays and coming up with big hits, and that was an intense game that we played with Meridian. It was a tough loss. Don't get me wrong, but like I tell these girls every day, that's something that we should be hungry about and work for this year is getting back to that situation and, getting that big dub right there. So
exactly.
And like I said, it'll all work out. I'm definitely not low on confidence. I got a lot of confidence in my girls. Like I said, they come in every day and they work their butts off and it'll come together.
Right. Despite an 0-5 start, they'll get it synced and you're eyeing those wins they had. Who's been playing? Who's really stood out though for you? I suppose especially offensively. Didn't Callie Michael? Did she knock a grand slam over the boards?
Yeah, she had a big time hit in that game against Woodlawn. That's what I was talking about those last couple innings. I think we had 7 or 8 hits, scored 8 runs, and that's what we can do. Not consistently, every inning.
Sure.
But we do have that potential of popping our lineup to, to score a lot of runs. And then too, Kylie Smith, she did a great job last year when Caitlin was struggling with some back issues in the year and coming in and filling in for us, pitching wise. So I got a pretty good feeling she's going to come back to form here shortly. It's just like I said, start of the season, we've been in the gym, like every other team. You can hardly get outside ever.
Right.
So we didn't get any scrimmaging in. It's just throwing bullpens and everything else. So once we get her into a better groove, we'll be looking a lot better for sure.
You got to get outside on that grass and dry dirt, and it's just not the same indoors, is it, Jay?
It's hard to simulate what's actually happening in the game.
Yeah,
on the game floor, that's for sure.
Who else could land some pitching time for you, Jay?
Brooklyn Smith.
All right.
Brooklyn started throwing this summer, and she's been doing quite a few lessons. And she threw one game against Florida and did a really nice job. I'm hoping, I'd already have 2 or 3 starts for her already this year, like I said, due to schedule and weather. And we haven't been able to do that, but she did a fine job. She's got a little bit of velocity. She throws 3 or 4 different pitches consistently for strikes. So, we're looking for her to get, eat up some more innings this year and possibly be our starter for next year. We also have Emily Gepke, who's a junior. She throws a little bit. She hasn't gotten to a game yet this year. And then we have a couple freshmen who throw, Jalen Comel and Chloe Smith.
Good. So you got to start them early, right, Jay?
Pitchers. Yeah, so we get them started early. So, hopefully by, sophomore, end of sophomore year, early junior year, they're ready to go on a varsity level.
And, of course, Brooklyn, she's just an outstanding athlete, period.
Good, great athlete. She's hit a couple home runs for us this year, too. And I'm going to be honest, I think she's hitting maybe 312 this year, but it could as easily be 700 because she is hitting seeds all over the place. She's
I believe it.
Bad luck this year.
So that's a hard 312. It should be maybe, 450 or so.
Oh, absolutely. And that's being nice. Honestly, she has been peppering the ball, and girls have been making good plays on her. She's hitting line drives right at people. So
through the
it'll all start falling.
Yeah. Through the first 5, Jay. I think Kylie has been on the hill for every game but one, I suppose. But who surrounds her? What's the rest of the lineup look like usually?
Okay, we've been going with Wcxo in our leadoff just because good speed, good contact hitter, and she's got some pop in her bat too. She's been playing right field for us. Her sister Angelina Shaw, who's a freshman, I think she's hitting around 470. Somewhere around that part. She's our leading hitter so far. Yeah, she's been playing second base, and obviously Brooklyn, she started the first game in left field, and then moved her back to catcher. She's been hitting in the 3-hole for us. Kaylee Perez, who was our second baseman last year, and now she's moved into Hannah's spot at shortstop. She's been hitting 4th. We have Kylie Smith, our pitcher, hitting 5th. Callie Michael. She's been playing first base. She moved from left field to first base this year, so she's been hitting in the 6-hole. Kayla Guterslow, who's got one of the best gloves I've ever seen as far as the female athletes, our third baseman, hitting 7th. Harley Romine, she's a catcher, left fielder. She's been playing left for us. And then a big surprise for us has been Megan Holtman. She's always, our center fielder. She's always been good at defense, and I know with the last coach, she didn't get many at-bats. Last year, she didn't get many at-bats for us, but I think she's hitting around 400 this year. So she's been taking some really good swings at the ball as well.
Very good. But a lot of those are starters returning, and you have a larger roster too, so you got some bench to play with there.
Oh, we got some numbers finally.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice. Last year we were pretty short on that, and that's all about just trying to build this program up and get as many of these young girls, involved in softball as we possibly can. So, we have Emily Gepke's on her bench. She's a junior. She'll get some first base time this year, maybe some time on the mound. Leah Andrews is a sophomore. She came from Greenville.
Oh, okay.
She played with Coach Barnes last year and does a lot with him in the summertime. Who's got a good stick. She got one game this year. I think she went 2 for 3, so the one game she played. Caitlin Dornan, returning player, who's an outfielder for us. Jalen Colmel, who's been absolutely eye-opening. She caught when Brooklyn pitched the first time, so she catches. She plays shortstop. She plays outfield, so she's a nice utility player for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, got a couple hits her the only game she played. Hannah Least, which is our backup infielder. Good skill, very fast, got a good glove. Working on that swing a little bit. And then I have two more outfielders, Ellie Edwards and Elise Knox, that we're working with. So, yeah, the future is definitely looking bright. The more girls we can get involved in here, the better off we're going to be. There's no doubt about that. We can even play. Well, we can't play a JV and a varsity game at the same time this year, but we got a lot more JV games actually scheduled just because of numbers. So that helped out a bunch there, getting those girls some time out on the field as well.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. So good. How many games are they scheduled to play, Jay?
I think we're scheduled for 13 or 14 games, and then we've added a couple. So, we pretty much going through April and beginning of May, we don't have a day off. I think we have 2 days off between JV and varsity. So there's not going to be a lot of practice time. Hopefully this weather cooperates and gets game time in. That's what we're looking at.
And get those younger kids some experience too, and not only this year and in a year or two ahead too. The conference itself, it's always really, really good, and now there's addition with the Salem Lady Wildcats. You played them in the past, but now it's for real. It really counts, Jay.
Hey, yeah, we're in there. Yeah, we canceled. We were supposed to play them last Thursday, I think it was. So we're scheduled to play them again on the 19th, and they were a good team. We played last year. We played them over in the Salem tournament. And, we played a really good championship game against them. We ended up winning, but it was a real competitive game. And they got some athletes over there, too. So, hey, the more competition we can get around us, the better off everybody's going to be. So, I'm all about that.
It should be a real good race. And, you're ready in conference. You already have, Central and Salem to make up. And outside of that, the non-league games, that's going to be kind of dicey if you get those in.
Yeah, and the way the schedule is shaping up is some of those games are probably going to have to be knocked off, especially when they're calling for rain Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Friday, like you said, possibly snow and rain mix.
Yes.
Back down in the low 40s. So, yeah, that's probably what's going to end up happening. But, we'll do whatever we got to do. It's all good on that front. So.
Yeah, you probably. And I remember many years ago, Jay. We built a fire in the dugout a time or two. It was so cold. We played in the snow at Kaskaskia College. We had a team from Ripon, Wisconsin, come down. That was their spring trip.
Absolutely. Same thing at Blackhawk and Swift. We just took their trash cans and built fires in there and warm up between innings. Got to do what you got to do.
Let's see. I guess you have a couple of tourneys, at least one-day events, maybe lined up too. Is that right? Sparta. Do you play a tournament? Or at least around Robin, Sparta, maybe Westland?
Yeah, we got the Sparta tournament, and then that Westland tournament was the same as the Salem tournament last year. That just bounces around from school to school. We always play that, too, towards the end of the year. So,
we're
looking forward to that. Last year we got canceled at Sparta, so I'm looking forward to go down there and seeing some different teams that we don't normally see, so that's always nice, too.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You got to get some other opponents once in a while. An assistant or assistants for you, Jay? Coaches?
What's that, sir?
An assistant coach or assistant coach for you, Jay?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got Jo Lynn Reese, Coach Alexander from last year. She just got married, so she's Mrs. Reese now. Excellent assistant. I'm telling you what. Like I said, I told you last year, without her, I'd be in trouble.
She is good. She is good.
She's good. She knows the girls. She knows what makes them tick. She knows what gets them excited. So she does a real good job. She's definitely a better motivator than I am. And then Mike Giardini. He still comes out and helps us out, does a lot of throwing fires.
Deanie. I played with him at KC, man. He was a good second baseman.
Yeah, good athlete, good guy, knows the game of softball real well. Unfortunately, he'll be retiring after this year.
That's what I thought.
Hopefully he'll come out and help us out still, but we'll see. He's a big hunter and fisherman. So.
Number 5, Mike Giardini. Oh, yeah, speaking of stuff along those lines, how's the mushroom hunting? Has it been wiped out too?
No, actually, started to find some. We found some last weekend and went out, local in our area, and I found about 60 yesterday. So they're starting to come. The outside temperature doesn't matter on the mushrooms. It's whatever the ground's doing. So.
60?
They're coming.
60? Do you have to have a mushroom hunting license now in Illinois?
No, sir.
There's no limit?
There's no limit.
I shouldn't have.
But
it's
I'm
coming
sure
soon.
If they could get away with it, making you buy a license, they would.
It's on the way, so enjoy this year.
That's right.
All right, Jay. By the way, you sound dangerous. I thought that last year. You sound dangerously like Frank Colston.
Oh, I know Frankie.
I
I'm
know
playing
you
the 7 County League. Yeah. he was a good athlete, too. I'll tell you what.
Yep.
He's a good player.
Well, played minor league ball at the Trappers with your buddy over there, John Grunnert.
You got it. Yeah,
Salt Lake City
one of my
Trappers.
idols, one of the people that taught me the game. I'll tell you that, John Grunnert also.
Very
What a
good.
great coach in person. So,
All right, Jay. Appreciate your first visit. We'll get back to you again, okay?
absolutely, sir. Enjoy your Easter weekend.
Yes, happy Easter. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye.
That is, unless that really was Frank Colston. Maybe we dialed the to me, I don't know. But trivia's coming up. What else is coming up? We've got Rick Shipley. Maybe a dab or two in between. Stay tuned. This is Talking Sports on a Saturday morning. McKendree University is a great place to continue your sports career. It's also a great place to continue your education. McKendree offers a wide range of degrees, including master's degrees in business, nursing, education, and professional counseling. If you'd like, you can access McKendree's quality education through the flexibility of online degrees. To learn more about McKendree, log on to McKendreeOnline.com or call 1-800-BEARCAT. McKendree University is ready when you are.
Come out and test your rock and roll knowledge and contribute to a great cause. It's the original 8th annual Max 96.7 Rock and Roll Trivia Night to benefit Angels for Autism. Friday, April 6th at the Roland Bar Cow Golf Course in Oakville. Seating is limited, so be sure to register your 8 to 10 member team by calling Jeff Rabernord at 618-559-4489. It's the original 8th annual Max 96.7 Rock and Roll Trivia Night. April 6th at the Roland Bar Cow Memorial Golf Course in Oakville. Sign-in is at 6:30. Trivia begins at 7:30 to benefit Angels for Autism.
I'm Pro Basketball's Matt Shaw, and this is Talking Sports on Max 96.7.
Seaver Brothers has what you're looking for. Take a spin with Seaver Brothers and drive home in your new or pre-owned Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge truck today. Let Seaver Brothers give you the car buying experience that no other dealership can offer. Seaver Brothers stands behind their products and also has an outstanding service department with qualified technicians to keep your vehicles running strong. Stop by Seaver Brothers, 811 Washington Street in Carlisle, or call 594-2624 for your next Seaver Brothers sales associate.
Southern Bus and Mobility is your Brawnability dealer in Breeze. Brawnability features the broadest lineup of wheelchair-accessible vehicles with more brands, entry types, features, and price points than any other manufacturer in the industry. See for yourself at Southern Bus and Mobility why a new or certified pre-owned wheelchair-accessible Brawnability vehicle is the only way to go. Call 526-4131 or stop by just east of Breeze on Old Route 50.
I'd like to start a campaign to blow the buttons off people's radios. Is that realistic?
This is Max 96.7.
Welcome back, everybody. Rip here in the Weedman Ford studio for this Saturday morning. And yes, we mentioned this the other day, but Trevor Richards just came up shy of making that Marlins rotation. He's now on that 40. That's what did it. But as long as he pitches well in AAA, he's going to get an opportunity for sure with those young fish this year. And yes, Josh Tolley was released by the Snakes of Arizona, and we'll see if he lands. Hopefully he will with somebody else, and so he keeps that playing career going. The time is 9:29 on the dot. That time drop is brought to you by Breeze Furniture, Jan's Uniforms. Here we go, trivia.
It's time for the Easy In Travel Trivia Quiz on Talkin' Sports. Escape to paradise with Easy In Travel in Breeze. Call 526-2201.
Our number, of course, thanks, Mel. Our number is 594-2576, 594-2576. You are eligible to play unless you or someone in your household has won the last 8 weeks. So number 2, you cannot be affiliated with or related to anyone here at Max 96.7 or Easy In Travel. Or for today, the Eagles Nest in Addyville. Kevin Frederking is giving away a $15 gift card to his championship bar and grill. It's all purpose. You need to pick up the prize. If you win the certificate within 30, it goes back into the prize box. That's a rarity. You want this stuff, man, of course. 594-2576. Here's the question. Another time, at least on the NCAA basketball tournament, which team has chalked up the largest margin of victory on Final Four Saturday? The 1990 UNLV Runnin' Rebels, 1973 UCLA Bruins. Talk about a team. Or the 2016 Villanova Wildcats, okay, who's won a Final Four contest by the biggest point spread. You don't need the years, just the names. Is it UNLV, UCLA, or Villanova? Buzz us at 594-2576, 594-2576.
Nordyke Funeral Home is thinking about your future and offers secure, pre-planned funeral arrangements, relieving the emotional burden for those you love, allowing you to express your own wishes, and assures peace of mind with financial concerns when your family needs it the most. Nordyke Funeral Home has 5 locations in Albers, Aveston, Breeze, New Baden, and now Carlisle. Visit NordykeFuneralHome.com or call 588-3533. Striving to earn your family's confidence and trust, Nordyke Funeral Home with 5 locations.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Draghi, a general dentist from Breeze, Illinois, who sedates patients with pills. I treat a lot of patients who have not been to the dentist in 10 to 20 years. Most had a bad experience as a child. Others are embarrassed to go or are concerned the dentist will scold them. We know these feelings are real and believe in listening to your problems and concerns. I will do all of this without putting you down or making you feel guilty. My team and I want to make a difference in the way you feel about dentistry. Please call me, Dr. Tim Draghi, at 526-2020 to schedule an appointment, or look at our website at breezedentalcare.com, where sedation dentistry is an option for you to take care of your teeth without anxiety.
Are you looking for a happy dental home? Dr. Draghi and Dr. Santel are in-network providers with many insurance companies and have what you are looking for. New patients welcome and most emergencies seen immediately. Get back on the right track to good dental health with Breeze Dental Care. Call 526-2020. That's 526-2020.
If you're an athlete, coach, official, or fan, you need Lee Sports in Nashville. Lee Sports has it all for teams and individuals. From uniforms, shoes and equipment, to coaches' apparel and officials' gear. And Lee Sports carries name brands like Under Armour, Mizuno, Rawlings, and Adidas. Lee Sports also stocks a complete line of spirit wear and offers screen printing and custom embroidery, plus trophies, awards, and personalized items. Lee Sports in Nashville, your complete sporting goods headquarters.
Flying in the face of conventional wisdom.
There's no rules and no laws and lots of litter.
Every day.
This is Max 96.7.
Hello again, everybody. Rip here in the Weidman Ford studio. We're checking at Rip Talking Sports on Twitter. This could be dangerous. I've just been followed by Tattooed Goalie Dad number 31. Might have to run that through. I might have to vet that. We have a winner. Thanks for all the calls, the question, and the answer as follows. Which team has posted the largest margin of victory ever on Final Four Saturday? Was it those running Rebels, the Bruins, or the Wildcats? It's the 2016 Villanova Wildcats. So it wasn't that long ago, but hey, I remember that. They smashed the Oklahoma Sooners by 44 tallies. The Cats won 95-51. Wow, that's a whooping. Bill Bushin from Oakville is our winner this morning. Well, he'll go to his neighbor's place. The Eagles Nest in Addyville. That's what he gets. That's what he deserves, and it's a $15 gift card. Congrats to Bill. We're coming back. Need insurance? Insurance you can really count on? If so, turn to Dan Imming at Imming Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Dan and his staff will provide you with the insurance coverage and service you deserve. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or commercial, your choices aren't limited either. Imming Insurance Agency represents many outstanding companies, so get covered by the best. Call Imming Insurance Agency at 594-4536 or stop by 589 9th Street in Carlisle. Imming Insurance Agency, a proud supporter of Clinton County sports.
Companies are hiring again. That's good news. Bad news, you don't have the skills they're looking for. Kaskaskia College can fix that. KC's welding technology program can set you up with the skills industries are looking for. More good news, classes are available at KC's Trenton Center or Crisp Technology Center. Call Sean Morris at 545-3406. The demand is there, the pay is there. Where are you? Kaskaskia College, your future starts here.
Good times are waiting at Brett's Wildlife Lodge and Winery, just north of Carlisle on Route 127. There's no better place to see live music than the Brett's Outdoor Stage, hosting bands every weekend. The kitchen at Brett's opens at 3 on Monday and Tuesday. They open for lunch at 11 Wednesday through Friday, and they have breakfast Saturday and Sunday starting at 8, with dinner available daily. Brett's Wildlife Lodge and Winery is a great spot for a meeting, a party, a get-together, or just to grab a bite to eat. Call 594-8830 or go to wildlifelodgeandwinery.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Matt Palm at MedPlus Physical Medicine in Carlisle. Are you tired of packing on the pounds? Want to feel younger and have more energy? Want to get back into smaller clothes? If so, then it's time to take advantage of our safe, effective, and affordable weight loss program. With an individualized plan based around an appetite suppressant, a metabolism booster, and diet and exercise counseling from physicians with backgrounds in nutrition, let us get you on the path to a healthier lifestyle. Call MedPlus at 594-3671 to set up your free consultation and to get you on track to a healthier you.
Scientists say the universe is random. Why should your radio station be any different?
You've got Max 96.7.
Welcome back for one more fling, everybody. Rip here in the Wingman Ford studio on this Saturday morning. Back to the Marlins. Rick Shipley coming up in a jiffy, hopefully. Oh, man. Marlins, man. We heard about it all. He's a free agent. Marlins man is officially a free agent. Miami lawyer Lawrence Levy said he couldn't come to terms with the Marlins and will not be paying for tickets for the team's games for the first time in 25 years because they're a mess. Anyway, he plans on going to the Yankees-Marlins series at Yankee Stadium, and that's it. He actually presented, and why not, the Marlins with an offer as well as signed checks that they could cash in late December. His offer was $200,000 for 3 years. Anyway, he's not happy, and Marlins man can be kind of a pain. He's interesting yet too on another front. Let's see. Monday night we have former Illini basketball standout and current Eastern Illinois AD Tom Michael, along with Columbia's Brad Ripplemar. 2 rips, no waiting. He's going to be in for scores and stuff. He's really stacked with knowledge, especially in baseball. But now we hit the H&H Computer Services guest line up north for the Chi-Town area and SIU Hall of Famer, Centralia native Rick Shipley. Rick, welcome back.
Good morning. Sponsored speaker today, Rip. That's awesome. I feel special.
Not too shabby, huh?
Yeah, no, it's here we are. I know when you and I talk on the air, 2 things are happening.
Yes.
One, the Final Four is about to kick off, and 2, spring break's in full motion.
Yeah, which brings up, is it snowing up there or anything?
It is not snowy. It's actually rainy and nice, which I'll take the water type of moisture any day of the week. I think, knock on wood, we're done with the white stuff.
Hey, we might have some tomorrow.
I saw that, and I feel bad for you, but I don't feel as bad as you might think because I'd rather stay south.
I realize.
At this time of year, it'll be gone in a day. So.
That's right. Hey, welcome to another Final Four. Welcome back here. And this Final Four, this time it's back at the Alamo Dome, and we've got basically 3 blue blood names there. And then there's Loyola Chicago, the Ramblers, your neighbors up there. So the city of Chicago has a new pet.
Well, there's nothing else to cheer about at this point. The Bulls are going nowhere.
Oh, my goodness. They're rotten as heck.
The Bears are awful.
Yeah.
Baseball, has just thrown its first pitch. DePaul is terrible. Northwest, you go on and on. Illinois is no good.
Boy.
Hey, the city's looking for somebody to cheer for, and they found them.
They have.
Somewhat accidentally. I think everyone knew Loyola existed, but who knew their basketball team was any good before the last 3 weeks? But they've really, Porter Mosier's really done a great job putting that team together. A guy that struggled in his initial coaching stints and really learned a lot from Rick Majerus down when he was an assistant at St. Louis U with him. And they had just kind of moved that now north. Now the question becomes, is Porter Mosier the coach of Loyola in 2018, 2019? I think becomes the question.
No, he has to strike while that iron is hot, right? Unless he's really, he is a Chicago guy, right? But still, come on.
Yeah, he grew up in the suburbs. Actually, a guy I played against, he played ball at the Creightons. I played
at the same
3 years.
Really? Okay.
No Porter from playing against him and things. So it is exciting. Everyone wants to see that team, and sometimes that team is a name you don't know. But hey, this is a team that's won a national championship before most of us were born, or many of us were born.
1963, I happen to have been around then, But
exactly, many of us weren't born yet. But so it's a team that's been there, but it's been a long dry spell. They just do things right.
They do.
They have good talent. They don't have Villanova talent. They don't have Kansas talent, but they do things right.
They're a team.
They're an older team, and this is what happens in this tournament.
Yep.
You see teams that have played together for years, and they're not intimidated by the young gun freshmen anymore.
Well, they eked by Miami and Tennessee, and they've never looked back since. They are the story of the big dance, and they're doing a great job of repping the Missouri Valley Conference. I know you're happy about that too. It's time they get some credit. They've taken a hit with the loss of Creighton and Wichita State, but look, they have a club back in the Final Four or in the Final Four.
Yeah, if there was ever a year, perfect timing for the Valley to get a team. The Wichita State defection, again, not totally unpredicted, but it was quick the way it happened. And the thing is, it's not expected to get a Valley team to the Final Four that frequently. That obviously Wichita State did it just a few years ago. And really, the Valley is going to be better next year than it was this year. And so Wichita leaving probably opened the door for Loyola because it's hard to assume that the Wichita wouldn't have won the league as good as Loyola's been. And if Loyola doesn't win the league and win the tournament, they're not in the NCAA tournament. And so, Wichita leaving really opened the door for Loyola to become a Final Four team, and it's given other teams, I think SIU, we may talk about that a little bit, but SIU is going to be in a position to battle for that top position next year and maybe get Barry Hinson's first NCAA tournament bid in his coaching career. So the Valley really is looking good for a conference that's lost two behemoths over the last decade.
Well, you got to have those upsets. That makes it. And now they've carried it all the way. But that's just a sound club. I've watched enough of them now, man. And at Richardson, they're interesting. UMBC and Buffalo, two of the others that caused some havoc, huh? And Buffalo did quite well against K-State. They bowed out against them, but they did all right.
Yeah, no, I think we all knew there was a day a 16 was going to be the one. First off, we'll start with UMBC. I think if you'd asked me to put my money on it, it would not have been against Virginia. The way Virginia plays doesn't lend themselves to upsets well.
And it wasn't just the upset, Rick. They win by 20. They bashed them.
There was no question. That second half, I mean, it looked like the roles were reversed. Every shot they shot went in. Virginia couldn't stop anybody, which is their calling card. And then you think about Buffalo against Arizona, another trendy pick with all the scandal around them.
I had them.
The NBA talent they had. For both of those two teams to go out on day one, the way they went out was just unbelievable. I mean, I don't know that you can recall a tournament where two teams that were that highly favored to go a long way in the tournament, let alone even win the tournament, went out by 20-point plus margins. I think some of the other upsets you see, were kind of unpredictably predictable.
Sure.
But those two were not two. Those were two that you really saw. Obviously, they were going to meet at some point, but going a long way in the tournament.
And I know North Carolina wasn't the team they have been, but still they were a number 2 seed, and they were just crashed too by Texas A&M.
Yeah. I think I look at 4 teams that I think really had a tough go. Obviously, Virginia and Arizona. We talked about those. I think North Carolina playing in Charlotte really got throttled by a Texas A&M team that really plays kind of the way Carolina does with big people on the inside. They crash the glass. That's not a team Carolina usually loses to. And then the other one was Michigan State losing in Detroit. Obviously, Syracuse, is a difficult team to play against with that zone and the length. But I think Carolina losing in Charlotte and Michigan State losing in Detroit. Again, Michigan State was a very trendy pick to win it all. We're probably, combined with Virginia and Arizona, the 4 big names that you think, wow, that those were not predictable. All 4 of those teams were predicted to go a long way. I think when you look at the rest of the bracket, it was very predictably unpredictable, and that's very common of the tournament.
I would have put quite a few marbles on Kentucky after getting to the Final Four after Virginia and Arizona got wasted, but they missed a golden opportunity.
Yeah, and give Bruce Weber credit.
Sure.
He took advantage of a situation. How would they have fared against Virginia? I'm going to guess not very well, but they didn't have to play Virginia.
No.
And so they get to play UMBC, and they took care of business against Kentucky. And then now you've got a game with Loyola and Bruce Weber, and you're thinking Weber's got a chance to get to a second Final Four. And again, Loyola comes out and really just throttles them. it's all about it's about matchups, but it's about how you're playing that day. And Loyola has come to play every single day. But to win their first 3 games by a total of 4 points, it's never been done in the tournament before. And with last-second shots and last-second defensive stops, then they didn't leave that. They didn't make it that close against K-State. They really won that game from the opening tip on.
Yeah.
But no, your left side of your bracket, there's a lot of names there. You not very many picked, and the right side of your bracket looks like a lot of names and a lot of teams that people pick to go a long way. It's very recognizable the way the right side of the bracket looks.
The seeds, and hey, again, you have to go on the court and play and win and stuff. But I think they did a pretty good job with the number 1 seeds and so forth. But there are always beefs about who got in, who didn't get. The team I is the one. Oklahoma, they should have never gotten in this big dance. Under 500 in the conference, Oklahoma State beat them. Just for Trae Young's purpose, that was the only reason. You can't do it for a player.
Well, this is where I think the selection committee has a no-win job. They're always going to bring somebody in and leave somebody out, if not more than one, that people disagree with. But I think Oklahoma was black and white.
Exactly.
It's a team that not just their record. Obviously, they had big wins early in the year, but the way they finished down the stretch. They only won, I think, 3 games since the turn of the calendar.
They didn't win one road game in 2018.
Right. Why are you rewarding a team that has played so poorly down the stretch? They didn't lose anyone to injury. They just played awful. And they played some good competition, but they played awful. And so I agree with you. That's not a team. Sure, it's a team that could win 3 or 4 games. I think Syracuse obviously proved that as one of the very last teams in, they could win 3 or 4 games. But that doesn't mean they should be in the tournament.
Exactly.
And it's really become a situation when you think about the way the big conferences are going to 20-game schedules, you're leaving the smaller conferences less and less of a chance to even play those teams and have those quality games, win or lose, on their schedule. With a 20-game conference schedule, and the Big Ten's going to that next year and the ACC is going the following year, that only leaves 7 out-of-conference games outside of the exempt tournaments that the Big Ten teams will play. Now, guess where those 17 games are going to be played? They're going to play 1, maybe 2 on a neutral floor. They're going to maybe play 1 away game. The rest are going to be at home. and the competition for the mid-majors to get one of those games with them has become narrower and narrower. And it's going to be hard for the SIUs and the Loyolas of the world to get those games going forward.
Yeah.
So you're going to see more and more of the Syracuse and Oklahomas getting those bids over Middle Tennessee State and on and on.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see more mid-major teams get in to prove what they can do. And Rick Shipley's with us, a former Orphan star, a Sluky star, a Hall of Famer down at SIU Carbondale. And players, we've got Trae Young. Man, we've got a lot of great players in this tournament still remaining. And since those SIU days in the late 80s, very early 90s, Rick, what's been the big – some of these guys are so athletic, and it's fun to watch them play.
Yeah, the difference is just simply size. There's always been great athletes.
Exactly.
But it's great athletes, the 6'4" great athlete is now the 6'7", 6'8" great athlete.
Point guard.
and the 6'7", 6'8" guys that were pretty athletic around the rim are now 6'11" guys around the rim. Look at Duke. Look at Duke. Look at Arizona. The big kids they have, the length they have, the kids are going to come out in this draft. The NBA, and obviously the NCAA is a feeder for the NBA, but it's now, if you're not 6'8", 6'9", you can't even play on the wing anymore. Whereas that guy used to be 6'4", 6'5", now you've got to be 6'8", 6'9", with a 7-foot wingspan.
Crazy.
And that athleticism of the 6'4", 6'5" guy. It is a different game. The game 20 years ago was different than the game was 20 years before that, and 20 years before that.
I can't imagine what's ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Is your point guard 6'9"? Magic Johnson?
He started
4 years before his time.
Yeah, he started.
Hardaway.
Well, it's been good though, and it always is. And tonight it is Final Four time. We've got Loyola, Chi-Town against the Michigan Wolverines, and then Nova and Kansas hooking up. I'm going with Kansas and Michigan and Kansas to win it all now. What do you say? You're the expert.
I'm no more of an expert.
No. You should be on this college. You should be on TV. I guarantee you whip butt over all these guys.
I will say this: maybe I should be on radio or TV.
Radio, too.
I got a radio face. But, no, I think I think Loyola's train probably comes to an end today. This looks like the Michigan team we saw 3 or 4 years ago. They just turned it on at the end, won the Big Ten tournament, and really just played very, so well. Obviously, they had that last second shot to keep their train moving. But I think Michigan probably beats Loyola in a tightly contested context. And I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Villanova.
Oh, I wouldn't blame you. I just don't. My tiebreaker was I don't like Nova. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a toss-up there. I think the reason Kansas was able to beat Duke was Duke's defense. Obviously, Duke's length and NBA talent is second to none in college basketball. But that defense they played and the way Kansas plays essentially 4 guards, that was the way you beat that defense. Villanova doesn't have to do that. They will play that standard man-to-man. They're going to make it tough. You're going to get no open shots, and I just think Villanova wins that. And I think Monday night. I think it's a toss-up. I think Villanova's probably the better team, but Michigan's playing so well. But I think if you ask me, I'm going to put Villanova back in the top slot for the second time in 3 years, even though, I'm not a big fan.
All right, we'll mark it down. And I just want 3 really good games, to tell you the truth. And Michigan, Beeline, he does this a lot, doesn't he? He gets that team. His team's just peaking at the right time, man. He cruises through that Big Ten tournament, and off they are.
But how many pros do you see on his team? Right? You don't. I mean, there may be a guy or two that'll play in the pros, but you don't see automatic pros on his team like you see on some of these
Bridges?
other squads.
Bridges the one guy? Or am I mixing up teams?
Bridges from Villanova. Well, you've got a Bridges from Villanova, and you got the Bridges kid from Michigan State.
Oh, Michigan State. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yep.
But you don't really see anybody jumps off the page at you. But again, they do things right. They shoot the ball well. They play a lot of big post players out on the Wagner, the big kid.
I like him.
Out on the court, shooting from 18, 19 feet. That's a different game when you have your center inverted from your small people, and that gives people problems. When your small guys go inside and your big people go outside, that's a tough matchup. But no, Beeline never awes in recruiting. Doesn't awe in the first half of the season, but teams always peak at the end of the year.
He's got that blue-collar team, right, Rick?
But
yeah.
I'm sorry?
He's got that blue-collar team, it seems like, year after year.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also a team that I think Loyola goes into this game that they're probably not in awe of, where there's a chance to be more in awe of a Villanova or a Kansas, both from a legendary standpoint as well as a talent across the court from you. I think Loyola goes into this game full of confidence that they can make this a game in the last 5 minutes. And I'll tell you, you get to that last 5 minutes of the tournament, all of a sudden that underdog has the crowd behind him, especially in a dome situation.
Right.
You've got 60,000 people rooting for you. And that favored team just tightens up, and every shot gets a little more difficult, and every free throw is a little more difficult. And I think that's Loyola's objective. Make it a game in the last 5 minutes and roll the dice.
Yeah, and it could very well happen. Rick Shipley's with us on Talking Sports for our annual visit, our annual Final Four visit. Let's see, we've got players heading to the NBA, coaches moving around, the carousels never stop. Louisville has their guy in Chris Mack. He got a sweet deal in a bunch of years. Can't blame him there, right? Jeff Capel goes to Pitt. Chris Lowry, your former teammate at SIU, have you talked to him lately, and what's his situation, you think, or his hopes?
Yeah, I think he's still Chris would still love to be a head coach. I think the Evansville job was one that I think he had his eye on. Obviously, an Evansville kid, a Valley product.
Man, that would have been good.
So I think he was being considered there. But Walter McCarty, the former KU player, Boston Celtics assistant, got that job. So that's good name recognition for Evansville. The team's kind of been a doormat for a while, but I think Chris is still waiting for that right position. Hey, calling a spade a spade. The last year or two at SIU was not a good situation. Had some great recruiting classes that far underperformed. So I think it's just he's got to find that opportunity to get back in and prove that was not the norm, that was the exception, and find that chance to get his name back on the docket. And I don't know how many more years Weber's going to keep coaching at K-State, and Chris potentially be his heir apparent. I mean, that's not out of the question
Yeah.
that could happen. But I don't think Bruce is going to be done anytime soon.
Sadly,
you think about the coaching carousel again. It's not uncommon, but now you start thinking about again Porter Moser. Where's Porter Moser end up? Is that Xavier job sitting there waiting on him?
Oh, that'd be pretty, huh?
Yeah, that I mean, because there's not a lot of big jobs left. That he doesn't make a ton of money at Loyola, but again, he's from Chicago. We'll have a good team coming back next year, probably not as good as this year on paper. In a better valley, you're right. The time is to strike. You only get so many opportunities to get that $1.5 or $2 million job with 5 years guaranteed, and you can't set that up no matter what your loyalties are.
Of course, our friend Paul Lusk is looking too. Actually, I've heard several things where he has netted a new job at Division I as assistant or head coach, but it hasn't been in print or anywhere else. So I guess he's still out in the open. But we always wish him the best, and I know you do as well.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Paul's well respected. Being a head coach, being an assistant at Purdue for a few years, it's a circle. The guys know each other, and respected guys always land on their feet. Paul's well respected, knows the game, and go back into that assistant role for a few years, and maybe another opportunity comes up. And if not, again, a good assistant job at a good university is not a bad position to be in either. And you just kind of keep doing your job for a solid head coach. You think about these. How many Division I head coaches at something below the low major, I'd say mid-major above, end on a high note? Not very many people get to be Roy Williams or Mike Krzyzewski or Dean Smith,
no doubt,
and kind of choose their time and walk out when they're ready. Everybody ultimately, and I say everybody, to the 90%.
You are hired to be fired.
Plus, yes. We'll be terminated at some point.
Pretty much so.
Yeah, you hope it doesn't happen after 6 years. You hope it happens after 26 years. But Jim Boeheim's another guy. Like him or hate him, he's a guy who's going to quit on his terms.
And by the way,
too many guys that do that.
By the way, I do hate him. Hey, okay, we only got about 3 minutes left, so let's make sure we get some stuff thrown down on your Salukis. What's the future look like for Barry Henson and company down at Seadale?
Well, if there's a year, it's got to be next year. And I think Barry came into a very tough situation 6 years ago with academic issues, and this is part of Chris Lowry's problem potentially going forward. That the first 2 years, it wasn't about winning games; it was about making sure the program didn't end up on probation, academic probation. And so the first 2 years, he gets a pass. He had to take kids that maybe play kids that maybe weren't of the quality he would want. As we look forward now, there's been progression. Next year's the year. They've got 6 of the top 7 scorers back. They also get Thick Bowl back, a kid that sat out on a red shirt this year, was, I think, MVC Newcomer of the Year last year. If it's not this year, it'll never happen under Henson, I don't believe. I think if it doesn't happen this year, I think it's Henson's last year most likely, because this is a team that can get to the tournament, that can probably win a game or two in the tournament. Maybe they could be the Loyola of the term. I think Henson's always proven to be a good bench coach, but there's just reasons he's not been able to get over the top. And I think next year's the year. If it doesn't happen, then I think it's a reboot, and you got to go a new direction probably.
Well, I hope so, and I hope so for you and Matt Shaw and plenty of other guys like that too. I know you want to see that team continue to have a success. And finally, Rick, the Illini, I didn't expect much, but I got less. 4 my goodness, 4 wins in the conference, right? And 4. What's going to happen there? Are all these players too soft? Which is part of my, is this Underwood too tough? Why is everybody transferring? It just doesn't surprise me, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's a whole other conversation we should have on another call someday. But the transfer rule or projected rules, but I think it's a combination of you weren't recruited by this guy. He plays a different style than what you're recruited for. Maybe he is coming in and he's saying he's got a 2 or 3 year leeway period where he can kind of clean house, bring in his kind of players. So I think guys in this situation a lot of times are harder in the first couple of years trying to determine who they want to stay around versus who they want to bring in. And guys that survive will really have successful careers at whatever level they can. Guys that don't will move along and do whatever they're going to do. But again, it should be one of the top 20 programs in the United States on a regular basis. You can't tell me that other schools, even a Villanova that doesn't have the resources of the Big Ten backing. Granted, they're in Philly and they've got great recruiting bases, but Illinois sits between Indianapolis, Chicago, and St. Louis. You can't tell me you can't load a roster with high-level Division I talent there. And I think Bill Self was on his way to doing that before he left.
Oh, I wish we had Bill Self. But, yeah, Brad Underwood, I wish him he better get going on that recruiting, though, man.
Yeah, no, it is. The league was down this year, too, as a whole.
I know
it. This was a year not to win 4 games. It was a pretty disappointing year, and it's a very down year. And the league won't be as bad next year as it was this year, top to bottom. And so getting from 4 to 8 is going to be a lot more difficult next year. And you're going to a 20-game schedule. So that means, you're going to play. You have a better chance of playing the top teams more often than maybe you did this year in an unbalanced schedule. So, again, he's got 2 or 3 years to kind of show promise, and I don't think the patience will be much longer than that. And the football program's down, basketball program's down. That's a difficult situation for both coaches. Nearer term for Lovey, longer term for Underwood.
Don't get me started on that unbalanced schedule either, or the one and done. And we don't have enough. We're out of time, Rick. I'm sorry to say, but man, I appreciate you coming on as always. And what can I say? Enjoy these last 3 collisions, okay? And we'll catch up with you in 2019. Happy Easter.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, Rip. Happy Easter to you and the listeners as well. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks to Rick Shipley and to Jay Wellen. Again, Monday night, it's Tom Michael and Brad Ripplemeyer before that on Scores and Stuff. Have a great Easter, everybody. Attend the church of your choice. Check back in if you haven't been for a while. A little preaching. See you Monday between 6 and 7 on Talkin' Sports. Real Sports Talk on Max 96.7 Wcxo.
Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7 was powered by Wcxo Elevator in Centralia. See Wcxo for a variety of fertilizer, seed corn, and seed soybeans. Talkin' Sports was brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Nordike Funeral Home with 5 locations to serve your needs. Lee's Sports in Nashville. McKendree University in Lebanon. Country Financial Representative Marvin Gerdes in New Baden. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. And by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Thank you for joining us for this WCXO sports presentation of Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7. This broadcast was a presentation of WCXO Sports.